Welcome to another episode of Millennial Investing Explained. Here's today's question. For decades, it seems that traditional budgeting strategies have taught people that they need to cut costs as much as they can, but that's not exactly what you did. You really looked at the other side of things and really tried to earn more. And those old budgeting strategies include cutting things that people really enjoy in life, but I know you have a little bit different philosophy on saving. Can you talk to us about how millennials can save more money without having to give up on the things that really make them happy?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So sometimes in life, it's always easier to buy something because you feel like you deserve it, or you feel like because other people have it that you should have it too. And just like in life, it's always easier to chase the next thing. It's always easier to often buy something to solve a problem than it is to do the much more difficult work, which is kind of step back and think about, why do I really want this thing in the first place? Do I even want it? Is it going to make me happy? And so doing that work of inside me, what kind of life do I want to live, and how does what I want to buy align with that life? And then I started to clue into this idea of like, okay, if I wanted my life to be built around these things that I really love, how much money do I actually need? And, when I first put all of my information into a retirement calculator, it told me that I'd need $3.5 million to retire. And then I started doing, the math and realized that just living a life doing the things that I love, I could do those with a lot less money than $3.5 million. And so I figured out kind of what made me happy. I quantified it, figured out how much it cost, figured out how much an awesome life that I really enjoyed would cost and would probably cost in the future. And then that's what I built the math around. And I think, we live in a world where we always focus on the numbers, and money's always talked about how much do you need? How much do you need? And I think the more important question is, what kind of life do you want to live? And figuring that out, and then figuring out how much money you need. Because a lot of people, what they do is they just try to make as much money as they can, and then they try to fit their lifestyle into that amount of money. And in a lot of cases, they spend above what they're making. And, they really have it backwards in that sense. I advocate what I call the only budget you'll ever need, which is, you're always going to be able to save more money on those things that you typically spend more money on. So the average American spends over 70% of their income on housing, transportation, and food. And so that's where you're going to get the big savings. House hacking, renting out your extra rooms, renting a 4-bedroom and renting out 3 bedrooms to your friends or to other people to offset or completely cover the cost of your rent or your mortgage, driving a used car. Maybe you don't even need a car. And then, from a food perspective, obviously massive cost for convenience whenever you use Uber Eats or Seamless, and eat out at restaurants. I'm not telling readers what to buy, what not to buy. Just simply realize that whenever you're spending money, you're actually trading not only the time that you spent to make the money, but you're also trading the freedom that money can buy you if you invested it instead of spending. And so, those are some mindset shifts that I ended up picking up along the way. And, it really completely changed my life.
That's all for this episode of Millennial Investing Explained. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or subscribe to our YouTube channel to get even more free content.